Yo, welcome back. We are 7th grade, Unit 4, Geometry, 2.2, Supplementary Angles. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to Supplementary Angles. Take a look, very similar to complementary angles, except for the fact that a supplementary angle, also known as a straight angle, goes 180 degrees. Okay, so the supplementary angles, and of course we're putting these in our notes. Let me back up 1 second and remind you to put this information in your journal. And the title for today's lesson is going to be Supplementary Angles. Okay. Supplementary angles are also sometimes called straight angles. Okay. So straight, A-I-G-H-T. I think I spelled that right. Sometimes I get that mixed up. Straight, A-I-G-H-T angles. Okay, that looks good. All right, so in your notes you're just gonna draw a straight line, and you can use a, you would draw this straight line, something like this. Okay, you draw a straight line in your notes, you sketch this angle, and then you draw like a line like this. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get the idea. Okay, and then this is 50 degrees, and this is angle B. Okay, and the name of this line is M. Okay, so when you put that in your notes, you would draw it like that, and the line here, the straight line, is N. Okay, so that's how you always want to do your notes completely. Alright, so if we want to know how much this angle is right here, then what we would do is take the full amount of the angle, which is 180 degrees, subtract the 50 degrees, and that would tell us that we have 130 degrees from here to here. Okay, that would be 130 degrees. And then we could check it, okay, because the check is when we add 130 plus 50, that totals back to 180. Okay, so that makes sense. Alright, so the first answer is 130 degrees. Of course, pause and rewind as necessary. Okay, next angle, same thing. Draw it in your notes, something like this. Okay, this one, let me do straight angle. There we go. Figured it out. Alright. So over here we have a 110 degree angle. Okay. Again, this entire angle, the straight angle or supplementary angle, is going to be 180 degrees. Okay, so we don't know what D is. Right here we have two intersecting lines. One line is line M, the other line is called line N. Okay, so first we start out with the total angle amount, which is 180. Okay, we will subtract the angle that we know. Okay, which is 110. And when we subtract those, we get 70. Alright, and we can check it by adding 110 plus 70, and that gives us 180. Okay, so that lets us know that that makes sense. Okay, so right here our angle is 70. And we can check that. Alright, looks good. Take a second to put that in your notes. Obviously pause it, and what I would suggest that you do is once you put 1 and 2 in your notes, then go down and complete the bottom half. Stop the video, first take the notes. Okay, so first take the notes. Alright, and then complete the bottom part. Complete bottom section before moving on to the next page. Okay. Alright, so now we're ready to go to the second page. Okay. It says line N intersects M, complete the top equation, then solve the equation for X. Find the measure of both angles. Okay, so sketch this in your notes. I'm not gonna draw it over here because we need that space, but in your notes, get a protractor and draw this angle. Now we know the total angle is 180 degrees. So if we combine 3x plus x, then together they equal how much? 180 degrees. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay, so now we're going to solve the equation for X. Okay, so the way that we do that is, we can write this again, 3x plus x equals 180. Okay, we know that this x is the same as a 1x. Okay, and because these are like terms, okay, like here we have a 3x and then we have a 5. Those are not like terms. Okay, the 3x and the 5x, those are like terms. Okay, like terms. That's M, like terms. So in this question, 3x and 5x, we can add those and get 8x. We can combine them or add them together because they're the same type of term. Okay, we can add together the 5 and the 15. Okay, the 5 and the 15. Okay, so we can add the 15 and the 5 and get 20 because they're like terms. But what we can't do is do 3x. I have another color option. Let's go with the green. Okay, we cannot do 3x plus 5 because those are two different type of terms. Can't do that. We cannot add 5x plus 15 because those are two different type of terms. Okay, I guess you would call that unlike terms. Unlike terms. You can only add terms, combine terms that are like. And when you say combine, sometimes you add them, sometimes you subtract them. Okay. Okay, so if we go back to the previous question, we can combine these because we have a 3x and a 4 and a 1x, which gives us 4x equals 180. Okay, now we know that 4x is the same thing as saying 4 times x, or 4 times x. I mean, you could write it a couple of different ways. You could say 4 times, the dot being a multiplication sign, x. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can indicate multiply, but my point is that you're multiplying. This is a multiplication symbol. Okay, so in order to solve for x, we need to undo the 4 from the x. So to undo the 4 from the x, we have to apply the opposite operation, which is division. Okay, we have to reverse the multiplication to get the 4 away from the x, to isolate it away from the x. So we're going to then divide. Okay, so then we're going to use division. Okay, so when we do that, the 4 divided by 4 is 1, which is the same thing as them canceling out. The 4's cancel out. Okay, so I could draw a line through the 4. That's a bad line. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the line. Okay, but you know that 4 divided by 4, okay, if we did 4 divided by 4 here, 4 divide 4 equals 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So this becomes a 1x. And then 4 divided by 18, or 180 rather, divided by 4. Okay. 180 divided by 4, that equals 45. Okay, so x equals 45. 1x and x are the same thing. Okay, so based on that, we know that x equals 45. X equals 45 here. Okay, so that's good, but it's not complete. We're not done yet because we only know one angle. Okay, because here it says find the measure of both angles. So we only found a measure of one angle because now we know that x is 45. Well, the second angle is 3x. Okay, so 3x is going to be 3 times 45 because we substitute the x. Okay, we substitute this x. We know that x is 45, so now this 45 and this x get switched. substitute it. Okay, so 3 times 45 is what? Okay, 45 times 3 is 135. Okay, so that's 135. Okay, and then we check our answer when we add 135 plus 45. For it to make sense, when you put them together, they should equal what? 180. So let's go here. We got 135 in the calculator already. We're going to add 45, and that equals 180. Okay. I'm taking my time because you should be putting all of this in your notes. Alright, so this is 180. Then we can check it. Oh. 135. Okay, that's better. Alright, so for the next one, okay, make sure you put this angle, draw this in your notes, draw that out. Okay, and again, we know that when we combine these two angles represented by equations, they're going to come out to a total of 180 degrees. Okay, so we can put 180 degrees. Okay, when we combine both angles, they're going to come out to 180 degrees. Okay, so now we can combine the like terms. So we have a x, 3x, and a 5x. Okay, so I'm just going to combine them, and that's going to become 8x plus, okay, 5 plus 15, that's going to become 20, because we're going to combine those together, and then together they equal 180. Okay, so we want to know what x is. So to find out what x is, we got to get rid of this 20, and we got to get rid of this 8. Well, let's start with the 20, because the 20 is add 20. So we're going to do the opposite, the reverse of it, which is minus. This is a minus 20 and a minus 20. Okay. Making sure that you put that in your notes. And then we drop down everything that's left over. Okay, this cancels, so that leaves us with an 8x, and when we subtract, we get 160 here. Okay. Like I mentioned previously, 8x is 8 times x. We have to do the reverse of it to get the x by itself, which means we're going to have to divide. Okay, the 8's cancel, leaving us x is equal, 8 goes into 160, 20. Okay, we got 180. Let's clear that out. 160 divided by 8 equals 20. Okay, but okay, so we know that, but in this case, okay, over here we had an angle called X, so that was easy because we saw that 45 was X. Here there's no angle called X. Okay, so now we have to figure out, let's do this angle first. So now we have to substitute the X here. We know that X is 20, so we're going to take that X out, put in a 20 plus 5, and find out what that is equal to. Okay, so if we do 3 times 20, that's 60 plus 5. And then if we do 60 plus 5, we get an answer of 65. Okay, so this angle here is 65 degrees. Okay, then we do the same thing here. This angle is 5. We substitute X, which is 20, plus 15. So that's equal to 5 times 20, which is 100, plus 15. 100 plus 15 is equal to 115. So that equals 115 degrees. Okay, so then we check it and we add 115 plus 65, and that should bring us back to 180. Okay. Clear out. 115 plus 65 equals 180. So that means that 115 should be about right. Alright, everything is good. Alright, let's move on to the next problem. Alright, so on the third page, page 3, first draw out your angle. This entire angle, again, is 180 degrees. Okay, it's a little bit different here because now they want you to put in the equations, because it says line N intersects line M. Okay, these are the two lines and they intersect. Okay, so complete the top equation. Complete the top equation. Okay, so we know these together equal 180, so they put the 180 there. So we know they got an X here, so we know 7x goes there. So they want us to put the 7x here, and then, oh no, they don't even want us to do that. They want us to go ahead and combine them. Okay, so we have to do the 7x plus the 8x. So that's going to give us 15x. So they want us to put the 15 here. Okay, and then they want us to put that 30 goes here. You see the little degree symbol? So that's kind of a hint. I'll give you a little hint. Okay, so that 30 is going to go here. So they basically are skipping a step. they're going straight to combining the like terms. Okay, so then we solve. Okay, so we have 30 plus 15x equals 180. By the way, you could switch these two. That's the commutative property, so you could have had 15x plus 30. Okay, we only did it this way because they put the x on the right side. Okay, so this is plus 30, so we're going to do the reverse, which is minus 30. Okay, that's a 30. Okay, so 180 minus 130, that's a 150. Alright, this cancels out, leaving us 15x equals 150. The reverse of this multiplication, 15 times x, the reverse of that is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 15, canceling the 15s, giving us x equals 10. 150 divided by 15 is 10. You can work that out on your calculator. Okay, you should be working this out on your calculator just like me. Okay, so we know that this x equals 10. Alright, so now we're going to substitute here. We know that x is 10. See, we don't have an angle called x, so our work is not done. We do have an angle called 7x. Okay, so we're going to take that 7. We're going to substitute out the x for 10, and that equals 70 degrees. Okay, here we're going to get our 8, substitute out x for 10 plus 30, that gives us 80 plus 30, which equals 110. Okay, we check it. Okay, if we add, okay, so this one was 110, and we said that this one was 70. Okay, if we can check it by adding 110 plus the 70, giving us 180, so that looks good. Okay. Pause is necessary. Combine like terms. We have a 2x and an 8x, giving me 10x. We have 25 and 35. That gives me 60. Okay. going to solve for x. So we have 60 plus 10x equals 180. I'm going to subtract 60 from both sides. That cancels, leaving me 10x equals 120. Divide by 10. That gives me x equals 12. Drop that in. Alright. I'm going to have 2 times 12 plus 25 equals 24 plus 25 equals, that's a 25 right there, 49. Okay, so this one is 49. Okay, here we are going to have 8 times 12 plus 35 equals 96 plus 35 equals, that's going to be 131, I believe. Okay, got 8 times 12 equals 96 plus 35 equals 131. Okay, so when we add 131 plus 49, we should get 180. So our check was 131 plus 49, giving us 180. So that looks good. And we said that this is 131 degrees. 49, 131, check. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so complete your notes. If you have questions, see me in class. Other than that, peace.